What's up, guys? Welcome back to Chiefs Chat. Today we're doing the Chiefs versus Raiders game recap. Dominant win by the Chiefs. What a way to finish the season, okay? Definitely one of our more dominant performances so far, okay? Had to bring in Chad Henne for the last few minutes of the game. It was great. Good stuff, okay? And it didn't require a whole lot out of Patrick Mahomes. You know, the offense, we were very efficient, but, you know, it wasn't a crazy, 500-yard, performance from Patrick Mahomes like we're used to seeing, 200 yards, 1 touchdown, very efficient, okay? And I think what Patrick Mahomes did, was solidify his MVP case. I think it's pretty much sealed, done. Put it in the history books because Patrick Mahomes has won his second straight MVP. It's not official yet, but it might as well be, honestly, because he had a fantastic season. I think he finished the year 5,200 passing yards, which is just incredible. Okay, 41 passing touchdowns. Only, I think, about 12, 13 interceptions, which is very, very good for Patrick Mahomes. Very efficient, okay? And a fantastic season. Gotta give him credit. MVP for sure. But again, like I said, didn't take a whole lot of Patrick Mahomes this time. It's just a very efficient game. Isaiah Pacheco had a great game. Of course, Jerick McKinnon, another receiving touchdown. He's been a machine for us this season. I just feel like a guy like Jerick McKinnon, man, he's becoming a Chiefs legend. He's a guy, 5-10 years from now, we're going to look back at the way he's performed this season. And we're just going to miss the guy, He's had such a great impact here with this team. Jerick McKinnon, man, you gotta respect what he's doing for this team. He's on a 1-year deal, okay? He is a free agent. So, let's get his signature on some paper here. Let's get him back. Honestly, after the performance he had the season before this one, it was a little bit it was a little shaky during the regular season. He definitely took it up a notch during the postseason. But honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. I was not an advocate for us re-signing Jerick McKinnon. I thought we already had a solid running back room as it was, but Brett Veach, man, another great decision, and he's really proving me wrong. He's really proving me wrong big time. And Jerick McKinnon, he's been a guy who I've just loved to watch, very flashy. He's just very smart as well, On that touchdown pass, it was Patrick Mahomes rolling out to his left, he had a couple of guys, and I feel like Patrick Mahomes gets defenders in this situation quite a lot. Patrick Mahomes, we all know, he can use his legs. So oftentimes he'll get outside of the pocket. He'll have, maybe 1 or 2 defenders in front of him. And at that point, they'll have to decide, should we stop him from trying to pick up the first down with his legs, or should we continue to cover the receivers? It's a terrible situation to be in as a defender because Patrick Mahomes, he makes the right call every single time. He makes it look like he's about to run, which is exactly what he did. But then he pulls back, flicks it to one of his receivers, touchdown. That's exactly what happened. Jerick McKinnon is smart for being able to recognize that's what Patrick Mahomes is trying to do, because a lot of times the receiver will try to go out there and block for Patrick Mahomes, make sure he can get to the end zone with his legs. But, you got to be able to recognize Patrick Mahomes is smart enough to know that sometimes all it takes is a little bit of trickery. Ooh, I'm going to run it. Ooh, nope, no, I'm not. It's wild what Patrick Mahomes can do. Not only is he such a physical talent, but he's just so incredibly smart. And, shout out to Jerick McKinnon for being smart as well, understanding the situation. A lot of our Chiefs receivers are very, very good at doing just that, but it seems like Jerick McKinnon, he's just been a touchdown machine this season. Great season from Jerick McKinnon, and I want us to re-sign him. Let's do maybe a little bit more than a year this time. Let's lock him up for maybe 2-3 years. He's been just so very good on those passing downs, We got a 3rd and 15, we got a 3rd and 10. Screen pass to Jerick McKinnon, usually he's going to get it done. That's how solid he is. And especially when you take a look at the way our Chiefs offense is constructed, Patrick Mahomes has a big arm. So you got these safeties and corners way, way back. You got these guys running these crazy routes down the field. Juju, MVS, just gunning it down the field. That gives Jerick McKinnon a whole lot of space to work with. Pick up that first down on the ground, yards after catch. That's what it's all about. That's really what it's been about for Patrick Mahomes. So with that being said, you got to give credit to the receivers. Got to give credit to Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, MVS. Those have been really our guys so far this season. Really just doing a great job, grabbing the ball, turning around, getting yards after catch. It's been huge. We've had a couple of big shots like the one to Justin Watson. I think it was one of the first couple of plays of the game. Patrick Mahomes, boom, gunning it down the field. Justin Watson, boom, that was a great catch. Great play, 68 yards, our longest play of the year. It was fun to see. Very, very fun to see. Kind of surprised me that it was the longest, But again, it's been all about those short, intermediate passes, catching the ball, turning around, getting some yards. That's how we do it. And it's been working perfectly. Our offense, the best in the NFL. I think that can all be agreed upon. the best offense in the NFL. Considering the fact that we finished this season 14-3. And on top of that, we had a negative turnover differential. That's something that needs to be talked about. We have been turning the ball over quite a bit. And on top of that, we haven't been getting too many ourselves. But it just doesn't seem to matter. We make these mistakes, and most of the time we're able to make up for it with our dominant offense. And that's exactly what we need. You don't want to make those mistakes in the first place. But if we've got the guys to be able to, come back from it, that's a huge, huge tool to have in the playoffs. Because sometimes those mistakes are just inevitable. You're going to make those mistakes in NFL football games. It's going to happen. 60 minutes, there's bound to be a couple of, mishaps. But we've got the guys to be able to, recover from that, which is just fantastic. We've really shown this season that we can do that. We can recover from a couple of bad mistakes. And that brings me to another thing I really want to talk about. It hasn't been addressed so far on my channel, but I think, we need to talk about the special teams for this Kansas City Chiefs team. I was satisfied with what I saw with the special teams unit against the Raiders, but overall so far this season, it's been one of the worst in football, undoubtedly. Multiple punt fumbles, multiple kickoff fumbles. It's upsetting. It's very upsetting. We're among the top half of the league. I think we're top 5 in the NFL in terms of returning the ball on kickoffs, which means, they kick the ball to us. We're one of the teams that most often brings the ball out and tries to return it. But yet we're in the bottom half of the league in kickoff return yards. So make that make sense. It means we're returning these kicks, but we're not going anywhere with it. It's just very upsetting. It's very upsetting. It's something that we need to figure out. It's something we need to address. And, frankly, we cannot continue to have these problems in the playoffs. This needs to be something that needs to go smoothly. The defense hasn't been terrible. We've been kind of average, The offense, of course, is always going to be great. But our special teams this season has really, really killed us. Harrison Butker, he's been dealing with some injuries, I know. But he's missed a couple of crucial kicks. Quite a few crucial kicks. So that's something, that's something that needs to be cleaned up. And honestly, Harrison Butker is a guy I really, really trust. So a lot of people this season, talking about, oh man, we got to get rid of Harrison Butker. Okay, I've seen him, I've seen him do too many things on this Chiefs football team that I have not seen a Chiefs kicker do on this Chiefs football team. So it's hard for me to jump the gun and say, hey, we need to get rid of Harrison Butker because he's just been so legendary for this Chiefs team. Are we forgetting this season? Okay, this happened this season. He broke the franchise record for the longest field goal ever made. That happened this season, okay? That happened this season. Yes, he's been struggling, but he's still got it, man. He's still got that golden leg that's going to lead us to the Super Bowl. He's going to make some crucial kicks. He's going to make maybe a couple of game winners in the playoffs. I can see it happening because I trust Harrison Butker when there's zeros on the clock. Watching that ball in the air, I've seen it happen. I've seen it with my own eyes, in person. Harrison Butker, he's that dude. He gets things done, man. So it's hard for me to say, let's get rid of Harrison Butker, because honestly, I think that's jumping the gun a little bit, frankly. But, that's something that I think, our special teams coordinator, they're going to, address that. Going into the playoffs, I think, that's something that's going to be cleaned up a bit. And it definitely needs to be, And the cherry on top of the season, we got to talk about the ring around the rosy play. That was something special. That was really something special. Andy Reid just having fun. He's like, what, Patrick Mahomes, go in there, do your fun little play. That was hilarious. That was really awesome. And I see a lot of people I think it was one of the Broncos offensive linemen who had an interview and was just talking whoa, the Chiefs, that was so disrespectful what they did to the Raiders. And it's like, dude, that's just, it's absurd. It's really absurd. I think what it really boils down to is this dude is just tired of getting beat. He's tired of getting embarrassed by the Chiefs, So if you don't want to lose to us, if you don't want to, be tired of us, I guess it's time to move on to your your next team. Preferably an NFC team that will not be facing the Chiefs. So yeah, great season, fantastic regular season for the Chiefs. I'm super satisfied with it, and obviously, it was good enough for us to secure the number 1 pick, the number 1 seed, not the number 1 pick. That'd be wild. But we did secure the number 1 seed in the AFC. And that's something, it's hard for me to really know how to feel about it. It's hard for me to really, I don't know, because, you know, it's awesome. It's great. It's great that we have the number 1 seed, and I'm very happy about it. You know, that's something, you know, obviously all season we've been striving for this number 1 seed, and we've been, you know, every single game, you know, we go into that game with the mentality like, you know, this has a serious implication on who gets the number 1 seed in the AFC. Because having the number 1 seed is a seriously big advantage in the AFC playoffs. I just don't know how to feel, you know? We lost to the Bills. We lost to the Bengals. You know, at that point, it seemed like all hope was lost. It didn't seem like we were going to get that number 1 seed. Because at that point, the only chance we had was to end up with a better record than the Bills and the Bengals. And, you know, due to unforeseen circumstances, that has happened. So it's hard, man. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm happy that we got the number 1 seed. I think we did earn the number 1 seed. But I think the Bills earned it as well. I really do. I think the Bills earned that number 1 seed. I think it was theirs to lose. And unfortunately, due to that game being canceled, that is quite literally the sole reason as to why they did not get the number 1 seed. So, you know, as a Chiefs fan, I'm happy. But as someone, you know, with morals, not great. You know, it's a little bit shaky. It's a little confusing. I'm not quite sure how to feel. So, but regardless, we do get the number 1 seed. So, whoa, that's awesome. That's great. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next Chiefs chat.